The Andy Griffith Show brought warmth, humor, and timeless lessons to screens across America, making Mayberry's residents feel like family. Behind the laughter and beloved characters, however, each cast member led a unique life that often faced its share of hardships. From Andy Griffith and Don Knotts to the many memorable townsfolk, the actors who brought these roles to life faced unexpected challenges and tragic endings. In this tribute, we delve into the lives of the 39 actors who helped make the Andy Griffith Show a classic, sharing the stories of their careers, the highs and lows, and how they ultimately passed on. Join us as we remember the beloved stars of Mayberry and the legacies they left behind. Don Knotts was born on July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia. As Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show, 1960 to 1968, Knotts' portrayal of the bumbling yet lovable deputy sheriff became an iconic part of television comedy. His comedic timing earned him 5 Emmy Awards, and he went on to a successful film career, including roles in The Incredible Mr. Limpet and The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Knotts had a tumultuous personal life. He married Catherine Metz in 1947, and they had 2 children before divorcing in 1964. He later married Lorraine, but that marriage ended in 1983. Knotts struggled with deep insecurities, despite his success, and he often turned to alcohol to cope with stress. In the later years of his life, his health deteriorated. His tragic loss was compounded by the death of his close friend and Andy Griffith Show co-star, whom he had worked alongside for years. Don Knotts died on February 24, 2006, at 81, due to pulmonary and respiratory complications from pneumonia linked to lung cancer, a silent killer that had taken its toll on his health. Frances Bavier was born on December 14, 1902, in New York City. Known for her role as Aunt B. Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show, 1960 to 1968, she was the epitome of the loving and dependable maternal figure. While she found success in the role, Bavier was known to be a private and somewhat reclusive person in real life, rarely appearing in public after leaving the show. She married late in life, but the union was short-lived, and she had no children. Bavier's later years were marked by a series of health problems, including weight issues and loneliness. Her reputation as a talented actress was overshadowed by her increasing withdrawal from the public eye. Tragically, in her final years, Bavier was said to have regretted her career and relationships with her co-stars, especially the strain with Andy Griffith. She passed away on December 6, 1989, at the age of 86, from congestive heart failure, just a few days before her 87th birthday. George Lindsay was born on December 17, 1928, in Fairfield, Alabama. He is best known for his role as Goober Pyle, the good-natured mechanic, on The Andy Griffith Show from 1964 to 1968. Goober was beloved for his silly, innocent charm, and his ability to bring light-hearted humor to the show. George's career also spanned a variety of TV shows and movies, but Goober remains his most iconic role. Lindsay had a few personal struggles, particularly with substance abuse early in his life, but he overcame them. He married and divorced once and had 2 children, although he kept his family life private. Tragically, George Lindsay's health deteriorated in his later years, and he passed away on May 6, 2012, at the age of 83, from heart failure. His death marked the end of an era for the Andy Griffith Show's cast, with only a few remaining from that golden period. Andy Griffith was born on June 1, 1926, in Mount Airy, North Carolina. He was widely recognized for portraying Andy Taylor, the common wise sheriff in The Andy Griffith Show, 1960 to 1968, a character beloved for his patience and gentle approach to solving the small-town problems in Mayberry. Griffith's acting career began in the late 1940s, and he gained major fame with the role of Andy Taylor, which led to other notable works like Matlock. He was married twice, first to Barbara Bray Edwards, married 1949, divorced in 1972, and later to Cindy Knight, married 1983 until his death. He had 2 children, Dixie Griffith and Andy Griffith Jr. Tragedy struck when his son Andy Griffith Jr. died in 1996 from an overdose at 38, a heartbreak Griffith openly discussed. Despite his public success, Griffith struggled with alcohol during his early years, which he later overcame. Andy Griffith passed away on July 3, 2012, at 86 due to a heart attack, ending the life of an icon whose legacy continues to inspire. Aneta Corsaut, born on November 3, 1933, in Hutchinson, Kansas, became a household name through her role as Helen Crump on The Andy Griffith Show. From 1963 to 1968, she portrayed the smart, compassionate schoolteacher who became Sheriff Andy Taylor's love interest. Helen's character was intelligent, strong-willed, and played a vital role in the show's community spirit. Aneta's career stretched beyond this role, with appearances in a variety of television shows and films, but she remained most famous for her time in Mayberry. Aneta never married and lived a relatively private life. She was diagnosed with cancer in the early 1990s, and after a brave battle, she passed away on November 6, 1995, at the age of 62. Her death, just days after her birthday, left a profound impact on her family, friends, and the fans who loved her portrayal of Helen. Howard McNear, born on January 27, 1905, in Los Angeles, California, brought to life the character of Floyd Lawson, the bumbling but lovable barber on The Andy Griffith Show from 1961 to 1967. McNear's performance as Floyd was widely admired, and he quickly became one of the show's most endearing characters. However, Howard faced significant personal hardship during his career. In 1966, he suffered a debilitating stroke that left him with limited mobility and speech difficulties, which ultimately led to his departure from the show. Despite these struggles, McNear continued to work, with his role in The Andy Griffith Show being recast briefly with another actor, but Floyd's charm remained associated with McNear. He never married, and his health issues were a constant strain on his personal life. Howard McNear passed away on January 3, 1969, at the age of 63, due to complications from his stroke. His death deeply affected the cast and crew, who had seen him battle with the aftermath of the stroke for several years. Jack Dodson was born on May 16, 1931, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and is most remembered for his role as Howard Sprague on The Andy Griffith Show. From 1966 to 1968, Howard was the earnest but awkward county clerk of Mayberry. His character, often caught between his personal insecurities and his desire to fit in with the town's colorful residents, brought a unique charm to the series. Jack's acting career continued with several guest roles on television, but his portrayal of Howard was the one that defined his legacy. Jack married Barbara, and they had children, living a relatively private life outside of the spotlight. Unfortunately, Jack suffered from heart disease in his later years. His death on September 16, 1994, at the age of 63, due to heart failure, was a tragic event for his family and fans. His passing occurred just a year after he retired, leaving behind a legacy of endearing television moments. Tom Jacobs was born on March 31, 1903, in Deerfield, Michigan. He made his mark on The Andy Griffith Show with his role as a townsman, frequently appearing in the background during the early seasons from 1960 to 1965. Though he wasn't a major character, Jacobs' presence as a familiar face helped build the small-town atmosphere of Mayberry. What many don't know is that Tom was the brother of Danny Thomas, the show's producer, which created a family connection within the industry. Despite his involvement in television, Tom had a modest career, taking on various roles, often uncredited or in small, supporting parts. Jacobs' personal life is not well documented, but it is known that he was married and had a family, though much of his life remained private. He passed away on March 3, 1976, at the age of 72, in relative obscurity, leaving behind his legacy as a hard-working, often unnoticed figure in the world of television. The cause of his death was not publicly detailed, but his passing marked the end of a quiet chapter in the show's history. Betty Lynn was born on August 29, 1926, in Kansas City, Missouri. She played Thelma Lou, Barney Fife's devoted girlfriend, on The Andy Griffith Show from 1961 to 1966. Thelma Lou was a character who provided emotional support and stability to the bumbling deputy, Barney, becoming a fan favorite for her sweet nature and patience. Betty Lynn enjoyed a successful career, but her personal life was not without struggles. She was married once, to businessman Stan Cadwallader, but they did not have children. Her marriage ended in divorce, and she reportedly never remarried after that. Despite the public success, Lynn's later years were filled with deep feelings of loss and regret. Her closest friends, including Don Knotts, passed away during the years she continued to work and stay connected to the Andy Griffith family. She also had to face the agony of watching her co-star and good friend, Andy Griffith, deal with his own family tragedy after the death of his son. Betty Lynn lived to the age of 95 but passed away on October 16, 2021, due to natural causes. Jim Nabors was born on June 12, 1930, in Sylacauga, Alabama. He became famous for his portrayal of Gomer Pyle, a good-natured and somewhat naive gas station attendant, in The Andy Griffith Show, 1962 to 1964. His catchphrases, such as Shazam, became iconic, and he brought much joy to the show's audiences with his pure-hearted performance. Nabors went on to star in his own spin-off, Gomer Pyle, USMC, which ran from 1964 to 1969. His career in show business was rich with opportunities, but his life was not without difficulty. Nabors was a private man and faced challenges in his personal life, including battles with his health. He married his partner, Stan Cadwallader, in 2013, a year before Nabors' death, after being in a relationship for several decades. The couple had no children, and their life together was marked by quiet companionship. The loss of friends, including his co-stars and peers, deeply affected Nabors. He experienced the devastating death of his close friend and co-star, Don Knotts, and faced his own battle with illness. Jim Nabors passed away on November 30, 2017, at the age of 87 due to complications from immune system deficiencies. Hal Smith, born on August 24, 1916, in Petoskey, Michigan, captured the hearts of the Andy Griffith Show fans with his portrayal of Otis Campbell, the town's affable and often intoxicated drunk. From 1960 to 1966, Otis was a familiar figure in Mayberry, frequently ending up in the local jail, much to the amusement of viewers. Hal Smith's career spanned decades, and he lent his voice to numerous animated shows, including The Simpsons and DuckTales. Hal's personal life was marked by stability. He was married with children and enjoyed a peaceful family life. However, as he aged, Hal was affected by health issues, particularly heart disease. He lost several close friends and colleagues, which weighed heavily on him. On January 28, 1994, at the age of 77, Hal passed away from a heart attack. His death was a significant loss to both the entertainment industry and the fans who had enjoyed his warm, humorous portrayal of Otis Campbell. Mary Lansing, born on June 10, 1911, in New Orleans, Louisiana, was known for her role as Martha Clark, the nurturing and ever-supportive wife of Emmett Clark, in The Andy Griffith Show from 1962 to 1968. Martha was beloved for her gentle nature and her active role in the community of Mayberry. Lansing's career, however, didn't receive the same prominence as some of her co-stars, and she often played supporting roles in television shows and films. In her personal life, Lansing faced her own private struggles, particularly with her health. She had been married, though details about her husband and family are scarce. It is believed that she had a peaceful family life but was quite private about it. Her health issues worsened as she aged, and Mary Lansing passed away on September 30, 1988, at the age of 77, with the cause of her death remaining undisclosed. Her passing left many in the entertainment industry mourning her quiet yet impactful contributions to television. Hope Summers was born on June 7, 1902, in Mattoon, Illinois. She portrayed Clara Edwards, Aunt Bee's good friend, and a lively member of the Mayberry community on The Andy Griffith Show from 1961 to 1968. Clara was a character full of humor and wisdom, often seen involved in the town's social activities. Summers' career spanned many years with notable roles in television and film, but it was Clara that truly made her a household name. Despite her professional success, her personal life was marred by hardship. She never married and had no children, and reports suggest she led a quiet and somewhat lonely life. Summers faced several health problems in her later years, including a struggle with heart disease. She lived through the heartbreak of losing many friends, including her Andy Griffith Show co-stars. One of the most profound losses came when her dear friend passed away just a decade before Summers. Hope Summers passed away on June 22, 1979, at 77, due to heart failure. Jack Burns was born on November 15, 1933, in Boston, Massachusetts. He is perhaps most well known for his brief role as Deputy Warren Ferguson in The Andy Griffith Show from 1965 to 1966. Ferguson, though earnest and dedicated, never quite clicked with the audience in the same way as Barney Fife, leading to his character's limited impact on the show. Jack Burns, a comedian and writer, went on to have a successful career in television, contributing to the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and The Muppet Show. In his personal life, Jack was married twice, and he had 2 children, though he faced difficulties balancing his career and family life. Tragedy struck in his later years when Jack's health began to decline, with respiratory issues becoming a major concern. His death on January 27, 2020, at the age of 86, was due to respiratory failure, a loss that marked the end of a rich career and the passing of a beloved, though often underappreciated, figure in comedy. Dick Elliot was born on April 30, 1886, in Boston, Massachusetts. He portrayed Mayor Pike, the jovial and somewhat bumbling mayor of Mayberry, from 1960 to 1961. His character was often the source of humor in the series, known for his good-natured personality and his occasionally absurd lines. Dick Elliot's career spanned many years, with roles in both film and television, though he is most fondly remembered for his time in The Andy Griffith Show. Elliot's personal life was marked by a quiet stability, having been married and raised a family. However, his later years were clouded by health issues, particularly cardiovascular disease. Dick Elliot passed away on December 22, 1961, at the age of 75, just months after finishing his work on The Andy Griffith Show. His death due to complications from severe cardiovascular disease was a tragic loss for his family and for the entertainment world, as he left behind an enduring legacy in television. Roy Engel was born on September 13, 1913, in St. Louis, Missouri. He appeared as a townsman in various episodes of The Andy Griffith Show from 1962 to 1965, adding color to the town of Mayberry with his character's background roles. Engel was a skilled character actor, often working in the background and bringing depth to the show's vibrant community. He was married once, and though details about his marriage are scarce, it is known that he and his wife did not have children. Despite his successful career in the entertainment industry, Engel faced several personal hardships. One of the most devastating moments of his life was the sudden death of his close friend and fellow actor who had always been a source of support throughout their careers. Engel also battled with the strain of aging in the industry, struggling to find significant roles as he grew older. His life tragically ended on December 29, 1980 when he died of meningitis at the age of 67. Howard Morris was born on September 4, 1919, in the Bronx, New York. He played the eccentric mountain man Ernest T. Bass on The Andy Griffith Show from 1963 to 1965. Ernest T. Bass was a beloved character, known for his wild behavior and comedic antics, creating unforgettable moments on the show with his outlandish schemes. Morris had a career filled with both acting and directing, often performing in comedic roles. His personal life was a mix of highs and lows. He married twice and had children, but struggled with the constant pressures of his career. His second marriage ended in divorce, and the challenges of balancing his professional and personal life left emotional scars. Despite the fame, Morris was deeply affected by the tragic deaths of several close friends, including his co-stars. The final blow for Morris was the death of his lifelong friend and colleague, Don Knotts, in 2006, which weighed heavily on him. Howard Morris passed away on May 21, 2005, at the age of 85, from a heart ailment. Denver Pyle, born on May 11, 1920, in Bethune, Colorado, played the memorable role of Briscoe Darling, the head of the musical Darling family, on The Andy Griffith Show from 1963 to 1966. Known for his rugged charm and musical talent, especially his skill with the jug, Pyle became a favorite among fans. He continued to build a successful career after the show, appearing in The Dukes of Hazzard and The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams. However, Denver's personal life was not without its struggles. He had a troubled marriage to his first wife, which ended in divorce, and he later married a second time. He had one son, who followed in his footsteps as an actor. Despite his professional success, Denver was deeply affected by the loss of close friends, including his Dukes of Hazzard co-star. Denver's own life was tragically cut short when he was diagnosed with lung cancer. He battled the disease for several months and passed away on December 25, 1997, at the age of 77. Maggie Peterson was born on January 10, 1941, in Greeley, Colorado. She portrayed Charlene Darling Wash, the sweet and talented daughter of Briscoe Darling, from 1963 to 1968 on The Andy Griffith Show. Known for her musical performances on the show, particularly her renditions of bluegrass songs, Maggie's portrayal of Charlene captured the hearts of fans. Off-screen, Maggie led a rich life, enjoying both acting and music. She married in the early 1970s and had 2 children, but her marriage ended in divorce in the late 1980s, and she remained close with her children, who continued to support her in her later years. However, her life was not without tragedy. Maggie faced a difficult battle with her health and suffered the loss of several close friends, including co-stars like George Lindsay, who passed away in 2012. Maggie herself passed away on May 15, 2022, at the age of 81, due to natural causes. Her passing marked the end of an era for The Andy Griffith Show, and fans remembered her as one of the show's most beloved characters. Paul Hartman, born on March 1, 1904, in San Francisco, California, is best remembered for his portrayal of Emmett Clark, the lovable fix-it shop owner, on The Andy Griffith Show from 1967 to 1968. His character, known for his hands-on approach to solving Mayberry's mechanical issues, was a perfect addition to the show's later years. Hartman had a long career in film and television, but his time on the show was brief. While his professional life was marked by steady work, his personal life faced challenges. Paul Hartman married once, and he had a daughter, but the marriage ended in divorce. Despite this, he remained a dedicated father, although there is little known about his daughter's life. Tragically, Paul's life ended suddenly when he suffered a heart attack on October 2, 1973, at the age of 69. His passing was a shock to those who had worked with him, and his death marked a sorrowful moment for his family, as they lost him unexpectedly at an age when he could have continued to contribute to the entertainment industry. Joseph Hamilton was born on January 1, 1899, in Washington, D.C. Known for his role as Chester Jones, a recurring townsman, in The Andy Griffith Show from 1961 to 1965, Hamilton's character was part of the vibrant, friendly community of Mayberry, often adding color to the show with his simple, everyday persona. Joseph Hamilton's career in entertainment was relatively modest, with several minor roles in television and film, but his contributions to The Andy Griffith Show were still cherished by fans. In his personal life, Joseph experienced several challenges, including financial difficulties, which led to a period of instability in his later years. His health also began to deteriorate, and he was sadly in declining physical condition in his final years. On February 20, 1965, Joseph Hamilton passed away at the age of 66, just a few months after his final appearance on the show. His death, attributed to natural causes, was a somber moment for his family and the cast of The Andy Griffith Show, who remembered him fondly as a key part of the series' community spirit. William Keene was born on August 4, 1915, in Franklin, Pennsylvania. He portrayed Reverend Hobart M. Tucker, the common Wisetown minister in the Andy Griffith Show from 1963 to 1968. Known for his gentle demeanor and thoughtful advice, Keene's character was a staple in the Mayberry community, often providing spiritual and moral guidance to the townsfolk. Keene's career in acting spanned several decades, though he was often cast in smaller roles that showcased his talent for playing authority figures with a touch of kindness. His personal life remained relatively private, but Keene was married with children, and he enjoyed a long career in the industry. Unfortunately, his health began to decline in the late 1980s, and he faced the death of several close colleagues during his later years. Keene passed away on May 23, 1992, at the age of 76, due to undisclosed causes. His death marked the loss of a beloved figure from the show, and many who worked with him on the Andy Griffith Show spoke of his quiet professionalism and generosity. Joseph Crehan, born on July 15, 1883, in Baltimore, Maryland, was a prolific character actor who appeared in numerous films and TV shows, including The Andy Griffith Show, where he portrayed a townsman in various episodes from 1961 to 1965. His career spanned over 3 decades, and he was known for his ability to blend into any scene, adding depth to the bustling atmosphere of Mayberry. Crehan's personal life was marked by his dedication to his craft, but there were also private challenges. He was married and had children, but little is known about his family life. His later years were spent focusing on his acting career, although health problems started to emerge as he aged. Tragically, Joseph Crehan's life was cut short when he passed away on April 15, 1966, at the age of 82, from complications of a stroke. His death was a great loss to both his family and the entertainment community, as he had been a constant presence on screen for many years. Parley Baer, born on August 5, 1914, in Salt Lake City, Utah, was an actor widely known for his portrayal of Mayor Roy Stoner, the no-nonsense and occasionally gruff mayor of Mayberry, on The Andy Griffith Show from 1962 to 1964. Baer's career spanned over 6 decades, including notable roles in Gunsmoke, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and The Twilight Zone. While he enjoyed success on screen, his personal life was not without its trials. Parley was married twice, and he had 1 daughter from his first marriage, but his relationships faced significant challenges. His first marriage ended in divorce, and while his second marriage to actress Jeanette Baer was more stable, the marriage was marked by Parley's ongoing health issues. Parley struggled with strokes in his later years, a condition that affected his mobility and speech. One of the greatest tragedies in his life came with the passing of close colleagues and friends. He had a strong friendship with Andy Griffith Show castmates like Don Knotts. Parley himself passed away on November 22, 2002, at the age of 88, following complications from a stroke. Forrest Lewis was born on November 5, 1899, in Knightstown, Indiana. He appeared in The Andy Griffith Show in 1960, playing the role of an angry man in one of the early episodes. His career, however, spanned decades, and he made a name for himself in theater, radio, film, and television, known for his distinctive voice and versatile performances. While he didn't achieve widespread fame, Forrest was a respected character actor who took on various roles, often portraying authority figures or comedic side characters. His personal life was marked by both successes and struggles. He married in the early 1940s and had 2 children, but the pressures of his career and health challenges placed a strain on his marriage. Tragically, Forrest's life was cut short on June 2, 1977, at the age of 77, when he passed away from a heart attack. He had battled health issues for several years, and his sudden passing left his family and friends mourning the loss of a talented actor with a legacy in both radio and television. Alan Melvin was born on February 18, 1923, in Kansas City, Missouri. He portrayed Clarence Doc Malloy, a recurring character on The Andy Griffith Show from 1962 onward. Alan was a versatile actor who appeared in many television shows, but his work in Mayberry became one of his most memorable roles. Throughout his career, Melvin worked with both comedic and dramatic roles, often portraying authority figures or the occasional oddball. His personal life, however, faced significant struggles. Allen was married twice, first to a woman named Lori, with whom he had 2 children, but their relationship ended in divorce. He later married his second wife, also named Lori, and they remained together until his passing. Melvin's personal tragedies included the painful death of his dear friend, Don Knotts, who passed away in 2006. His death from cancer in 2008 was a devastating blow to his family, leaving them to cope with the grief of losing a beloved father and husband. Allen passed away on January 17, 2008, at 84, after a brave battle with cancer. Norman Leavitt was born on December 1, 1913, in Lansing, Michigan. He portrayed Wally, the friendly and helpful owner of Wally's filling station, from 1960 to 1968 on The Andy Griffith Show. Wally was a dependable and likable character, always there to assist the townspeople with their car troubles and offer a friendly word of advice. Outside of the show, Norman had a long career in theater and television, but he was never a major star. He married and had children, but like many actors, he faced the challenges of balancing family life with his acting career. His later years were marked by struggles with health, particularly dementia, which made his final years difficult. His decline was further complicated by dehydration, a condition that worsened his health. Norman passed away on December 11, 2005, at the age of 92. His death, attributed to dehydration and complications from dementia, came after a long period of fading from public view. Charles Thompson was born on January 2, 1891, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and was best known for playing Asa Breeny, the forgetful and slightly bumbling night watchman in The Andy Griffith Show from 1962 to 1966. Thompson had a rich career in acting, with appearances in films and television, though his most famous role remained Asa. Despite his success, Thompson faced many hardships in his personal life. He married in his youth, but little is known about his wife or children, as he was a very private individual. His family life was reportedly strained, and he suffered from depression in his later years. His work in The Andy Griffith Show was a highlight of his career, but by the late 1960s, his health began to deteriorate. A series of personal losses, including the death of his longtime colleague and friend, actress Jeanette Nolan, deeply affected him. In his final years, Charles was often plagued by health problems, and he passed away on October 26, 1979, at the age of 88. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in The Andy Griffith Show, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.